We've gone a week mini bung, everybody. I'm Engineer Hoist, and we're here on Wednesday for Transformers Earth Wars news. If it's your first time here and you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the channel and click that bell icon for your notifications so you can be back here every week for the latest in Transformers Earth Wars news. And so let's say hi to everybody who's already been joining, because I know you guys have been chatting before we got here, and I love to see that. I saw Jer Barbara, Pete Francis Jr., I saw Dirty Spot in there. We've got Blitzwing, Wreck-It Rule, G1 Red Alert here. Oh, volume's too low. Let me crank that up a little bit. Probably because I was messing with that review a while back, and a couple days ago. It must not have adjusted. I hope it's a little bit better now, and we'll adjust it more if we need to. Let's see, Ethan Prime's here, Big Bronze Rim, Yuli Santana, Joshua Swain, Shark Z, Joe Harris, Ironhide is dead forever. What's up, man? Chris Camacho, Cameron Moore, Graph Inc. Studio, Grand Galvatron, 55R NTG Earth Wars, welcome. Oh, I totally forgot to turn off my notifications, so we're hearing email notifications going on. Are we still quiet? Hang on. Let me check a few other things. It could be pretty much anywhere. Input, not sure why that's low. How are we doing? I'm adjusting all sorts of different things. Is the volume doing a little bit better now, guys? Let me know. I hope it doesn't get to the point where it's clipping. So I'm pretty sure we're on this one. So volume's too high, volume's good. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on the chat, and we'll see how it goes. We'll adjust later as need be. That's one of the nice things about the live stream is you guys are there. You can give me the feedback so we can go get it. Okay, we're saying we got the thumbs up. It's good. All right, so let's go ahead and I know some of you guys. I've seen you guys chatting. You saw the newsletter. You know it's these guys are coming in the leaderboard this weekend. We know what their abilities are, and you've probably already tried them out, but we're still going to go through the newsletter anyway because that's what we like to do here, and we'll check them out. And we got a few more other things to talk about in relation to those guys. So the newsletter starts off with the Ba Weep Grana Weep Nini Bong. The long-awaited new triple changers are arriving in the game. Battle hard this weekend for a chance to get Sandstorm or Octone. Now, of course, he's Octane from the G1, but because of trademark reasons or whatever, they can't use that, so they called him Octone because that's what the recent toy from last year is called. It actually, in the last stream, somebody came in, I am sorry if I don't remember your name, but they made a mention that Octone was actually his name in the Japanese version of the G1 cartoon, so that makes even more sense why they would go with that variation, since they couldn't use Octane. There, Miyuki, you're right, it just showed up. That's who did it. I'm sorry I forgot your name, but yes, thank you for that tip. In the last stream, afterwards left a comment that Octone was the Japanese name, so thank you for that tip. So this weekend's event is called Apex Predator. I'm not sure how that quite fits in with these two guys, but hey, you know, we'll go with it, all right? But yeah, we have a chance to unlock the 2, 3, or 4-star Sandstorm or Octone, obviously, depending on whether or not you are an Autobot, not Octobot. What is an Octobot anyway? If you're an Autobot or a Decepticon. You can also win up to 2,000 premium shards, 1,500 3-star shards, 800 4-star shards, 25 Mark III battle boosters. Those are always nice because sometimes you just need that. There's that one defense that's just quite out of range and you're out of ability points and you don't have Alpha Trion Prime Core generating more, so you got that battle boost. Maybe you can go take that out and save your team. So, and of course, bonus XP per battle. And this is a leaderboard event, so just keep battling. Triple XP and same times over the weekend. You got to be in an alliance leaderboard. You have to be in an alliance, and to do that, you have to be headquarters level 4. The battle zones are the standard battle zones. And the totalizer prizes, these are the prizes. Oh, looks like we need to zoom in on these a little bit. And That's not what I want to do here. I'm trying a different program here. It seems to be working a little bit better. I just got to figure out how to do it. Okay, so just like the last leaderboard, there are no prizes until you get to 50,000 points. Now, I was a little skeptical of this when it first came out, as were a lot of people, but you know what? It worked out just fine. If you got a decent alliance, which is fairly full, I'd say if you got at least 30 people in your alliance who are actively participating, 50,000 points should not be that difficult to get the 2-star version of Sandstorm or Octone, especially because, again, prior to the last event, you used to have to get 60,000 to get the 2-star, so this is even a little bit of an easier to get than those, and not too much farther than that. 60,000, you're already getting half of a premium crystal in 4-star shards, 3-star shards. Those are already showing up at a fairly low level, so this is actually probably what we're going to be seeing for leaderboards for the next few events, and honestly, it worked out pretty well. And so they are also doing the thing where for anybody who is fighting to get up on the top spots on the leaderboard, there are prizes still available all the way up to 1 million points, where you can get a truckload of spark, 50,000 spark for each person in the alliance if you can hit 1 million points. So that's actually pretty good. I mean, even if you can get to 60,000 or 450,000, if you were able to complete the last weekend's event, which was 480,000, getting to this 450,000 should be no problem. And along the way, that's 20,000 plus another 15, 10, 5. That, I mean, that's a lot of spark, guys. So if you got a pretty decent alliance that can score those points, you're going to get a lot of spark. So it's nice to still be able to have some of those rewards as you're fighting for these things over here. Actually, it's that way. I always mess up trying to point the one way or the other, looking at the at my little monitor here. So yeah, so there we go. It's pretty standard to what we've been seeing the last few alliance events. As usual, the top 5 are going to get the 4-star, and the rest of the top 100 will get the 3-star, as well as some premium crystals. Everybody gets a little bit of spark up here, and 100 through 500 gets a few premium crystals and 1,000 spark. So there we go. Okay, so here we go. New bots, Sandstorm and Octone. They're both triple changers, as we know. They're ready to join the Earth Wars. These warriors with 2 distinctive alt modes and special abilities will outflank your enemies in battlefields. And there's Sandstorm, looking just like his Generations toy. And I gotta tell you, this guy does look pretty good in the game if you haven't seen him yet. And this is a fantastic toy. If you don't have him and you have an opportunity to get him, I highly recommend getting this toy. This is a fantastic toy. It's actually the same base mold as Springer, but heavily retooled because of the extra backpack with the gigantic wheels and everything like that. So it's actually really cool. So here is his bio. Check this out. Danger is what Sandstorm lives for, and lucky for him, there's plenty of it to go around. The Cybertronian equivalent of an adrenaline junkie, Sandstorm can't stand the mundane, the daily, the usual. He craves the intensity of life or death situations and always manages to find his way to the front lines. While no one can doubt his dedication, some wonder whether Sandstorm's thrill-seeking clouds his sense of right and wrong. If he isn't careful, this triple changer may one day lose his grounding and fall to the darker impulses of his nature. Now that sounds really cool, but you know, that's not really the Sandstorm I remember from G1, who was very peaceful and all that, you know, from over there on the planet Paradron and all that. But hey, considering that the version of the character that they're using in the game is more similar to what they had in the IDW comic and the comics in general, Sandstorm in the comics was on the Wreckers, so this does actually fit that particular character as opposed to the G1 cartoon character a little bit more. So Grand Galvatron's back with the, alright, beautiful, it's the most beautiful thing I've seen in the entire galaxy. Alright, give me the bomb. I do love that, that little scene. That's so funny. Okay, so his first ability is called the Supply Airdrop, and since it's green and you can see the little plus signs there, you know this is a healing ability. It drops a fuel supply from the air and within a large area, and it is pretty large. All Autobots receive healing for 10 seconds, and the amount is what's based on the character and the ability level. And if you happen to drop his other ability already, the Tar Sands Rush, it basically extends that ability and causes even more damage. Speaking of the Tar Sands Rush, say that 5 times fast, right? You rush into combat and release toxic tar sands in a large zone on impact. Deal damage over 10 seconds to enemies, and if you happen to have done a supply drop and that's active, you will also increase the duration of that by 5 seconds, giving additional healing to whatever Octobot. I saw Grand Galvatron's comment Octopunch, and I went and said Octobots again. What is wrong with me today? Oh. Okay. Moving on. Here is Octone. Woo. The only thing that would have made this whole thing better is if this happened in October, except it's November now, so that doesn't really make sense. But, you know, Octane, Octone, Octopunch in October, but it's not October, so what are you gonna do, right? Okay, so yeah, there he is. He's looking like his Titans Return figure from last weekend. We've got him up on the shelf, too, and this is actually pretty good. I saw somebody mentioning that he was a repaint of the Laser Optimus, and in a way you can. I actually made this comment on the last stream. Really, the way I look at these guys, and it was very simple, the same thing for all of these Titan Returns figures. Really, they released the repaint before the bot that it actually was meant to be. That Laser Optimus came out first, but everybody knew that was supposed to be Octane. Just like Sentinel Prime came out first, but everybody knew that was supposed to be Astro Train. That Megatron came out, but everybody knew that was supposed to be Blitzwing. So we knew we were getting these guys, and that actually, I don't know if it started a new term at that point or if it had been around, but you know, I thought of it too. You know, we talked a lot about repaints and retools and stuff like that, but because we got the repaint first, I started calling it like a pre-paint or a pre-tool. So it's where they released that one first. So, but I digress. So let's get back to Octone over here. No one trusts Octone, and for good reason. This Decepticon only cares about one thing in the universe, or maybe 3 things if you count all of his alt modes. The only reason Octone wasn't blasted into oblivion eons ago is his uncanny ability to locate and supply fuel. Being a tanker truck, I can see that. Other Decepticons know that when they're low, Octone will be there. Unfortunately, they also know that he'll use their need for energy in the worst way, scamming and manipulating them without a shred of honor. He's even been banished from the Decepticons a few times for his chicanery, but he always manages to manipulate his way back in, greedy for more. You know, I think he and Swindle would actually get along very well. And so his first ability is the same, of course, as Sandstorm. It's called the Supply Airdrop. It does the same thing. It just has a slightly different image there because it has an image of his jet mode as opposed to Sandstorm's helicopter/VTOL mode. And the second ability, they're actually calling this the Fuel Rush instead of the Tar Sands Rush, but it's the same ability. You rush into combat and cause some defense, and it looks like how close is that to the other one? It's the same icon as the other one. And you know, that's really it for the newsletter, except for the reminder to check out the official Transformers Earth Wars stream. This is the week for them to be streaming, so check them out tomorrow at 4 p.m. 5 p.m. UTC, they're saying. On the Transformers Earth Wars Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook channels. Deb, Giannis, and Fabian will be there talking about Sandstorm and Octone and this weekend's event, and who knows, maybe a few other things too. Alright. So, that's it for the newsletter. How about we head over to the game? I do have my crystals left from the event. I mean, they're just shard crystals, so not anything exciting, although I do have a couple of premium crystals, so let's go ahead and head over to that. Sharkseed playing out, going on the Octobots. Yep, the Octobots. That's a new faction. That's a new faction there. Alright, so we'll go ahead and go through these. Got chances for shards. 25 4-star shards is pretty good. Now, I'm a long way from a 5-star crystal and even a 4-star crystal, so I'm not expecting to complete any of those. But I'm pretty close to a 3-star crystal, so we might actually open up one of those. Will this mean 1 p.m. Eastern time? No, I think it's back to the original time. It should be happening at noon. I know it was it moved to 1 p.m. the last time, but that's because where they're at, the UK went off of daylight savings time a little bit before the US did, so that's why the time got off. I think now that we're both off of daylight savings time, I think it should be back to noon Eastern time. I guess we'll find out right about noon Eastern time. They'll either be live or we'll be waiting an hour. But I'm pretty sure it'll be back to the usual time. Some more 3-star shards. Here, Barbara saying, compare Overlord from Prime Wars Trilogy and Octone. Oh, there's no comparison. Overlord is, ooh, he's a mean one. Just like 54-star shards, it's a pretty mean little prize, too. Wonder if Octone will reference, oh my goodness, Grand Galvatron. Yeah, I can't believe they put that in there. The fembot that he was looking at. In a kid's show, I can't believe they actually did that. It's kind of funny, though, when you look back at it as an adult, but... And it probably flew right over the heads of any kids there, but, yeah. Big D says he managed to pull a 5-star hook from the event. But he wasn't happy about it because he would like to have gotten one of the other big game changers. Yeah, I can see that, but, you know, the high-level healers can be a game changer as well. Strong healer can really keep a lot of bots alive longer than they normally would. Hey, there's some 5-star shards. I think that was the first batch that I got out of these crystals. Some more 4-star shards. Skylinks is asking, do I have any 5-star bots? I do. I've got Skyburst and Cheetor at 5 stars. And I'll tell you now, I'm kind of glad I'm not close to a 5-star crystal right now because I have no idea which batch I would pull. If I wanted to pull from the current batch or from one of the legacy batches. My feeling right now is I'd probably pull from the current batch, hoping to try to get Elite 1. Is probably what my gut feeling would be if I had a 5-star crystal right now. There's 3-star shards. More 3-star shards. More 3-star shards. 4-star shards. Prime Central, how you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Hockey Gamers here. Sunjo Cyan Warrior asking, what's my favorite combiner in the game? By far, my favorite combiner is Volcanicus. Victorion's pretty darn good, too, as we pull 54-star shards. That's nice. Overall, in general, I'd have to say my favorite combiner is Computron. That's mostly because that's the only one I was able to complete as a youngster. Some more 4-star shards. Some more 5-star shards. That's cool. Yeah, Big Bronze Rim saying he's pulling from this batch when he gets his 5-star crystal. Or gets enough shards. And some more 4-star shards there. Let's go ahead and hop over here. Pretty sure this is a 3-star crystal. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and open up an Autobot crystal because there are a couple of 3-star Autobots available. I know Elite 1 I don't have at 3-star, and I can't remember if I got Inferno at 3-star or not, and he just got added to the premium crystals, Inferno and Rodimus Unicronus. So let's go see. Maybe we'll get them. If not, we'll get some 4-star shards. We get the shoulder pads shows up, so we get some 4-star shards, some spark, and a reflective coating power core. Okay, so now got a couple of premium crystals. Let's see if we get lucky. Got Blaster there. Wouldn't necessarily call that one lucky. How about this one? Thinking about it. But it's just giving us a duplicate Optimus Prime. Just a 2-star though, but does give us some Optimus Maximus Spark. Alright, so there we go. Skylinks54 is asking, what bot do you recommend to get a 5-star rating? Are you asking which one should I see a new one, or which one do you hope to get? Well, I'll tell you what, they got some really good 5-star bots there. Alita 1, I think, is probably one of the best ones to get. There's a 5-star Optimus Prime and Megatron available, so they're actually pretty darn good to get too. So, Sharksy says he pulled a 4-star Rodimus Prime from a premium crystal on his Autobot account. Very cool, man. Kevin Michael Ronquillo is asking, how long have you been playing this game? I've been playing since the global launch back June 1st of 2016. So, well more than 2 years. If we want to go look up at the stats, 896 days and 4 hours. Yeah, long time. The longest I've played any game, really. It's certainly the longest I've played a mobile game. So, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, let's go up here and check out the news. Okay, so there's a challenge battle. We'll check that out in a minute. Speaking of which, I know some of you guys were actually talking about it, but I want to give him a shout out too for anybody who hasn't seen it. Alpha Prime actually beat me to the punch to show off how to use Sandstorm and Octone, because he actually hopped into this challenge battle, recorded a video, got it posted up a couple hours ago. So there's a link to his channel, so definitely go over there, check out Alpha Prime. He's a really great guy. He's in one of the top Autobot alliances, Prime Union, does some great videos. So definitely go check him out. Check out his version of how to use Sandstorm and Octone, and because I 100% agree with what he did, with what he advises there. So here's the news that's saying Inferno and Rodimus Unicronus are now added to the standard crystals, is how I like to say it, instead of saying, well, it's also 2, 3, and 4 in the premium, 1, 2, or just the 2 and the 3, I guess, in the free crystal. I just like to call them standard crystals. They're no longer only available in a character-specific crystal. So, and there's the old news from last week about the 5-star legacy crystals. There's the Hall of Fame, and you can see there, Prime Union is there. Also, Scorched Earth Headquarters has been the top alliance. You can also check out Trios Theory is another channel. I don't have a link for him available. He's a up-and-comer making videos for the Decepticons. So let's go ahead and check out this challenge battle and see how we do. Okay, so there he is down there. This is the Paradron expertise, and if you're familiar with the G1 cartoon, Sandstorm was from the planet Paradron. And they've given him a Vitality Power Core, and there's his Supply Airdrop and his Tar Sands Rush, both at ability level 5. Alita 1's here's got her armor on it, and Tiger Hawk has a Rejuvenate, and Hot Rod's over here. They didn't bother to give him a power core at all, looks like. It just has his ability. So okay, so if I recall, Alpha Prime came in from the right, and when I was doing this earlier, I was actually coming in from the left. So let's go ahead and do that. Deploy. We'll drop these guys. And what I like to do is I like to send Tiger Hawk over here just to take care of that. And so start off with the Tar Sands Rush, and what he does is he actually rushes in and stays there and causes a lot of damage. So and so if we zoom in, you can kind of see it's kind of like a purple smoke there. And now if we were to actually do the Supply Airdrop right here, now unlike Springer, it doesn't have to target onto bots, but you see how it kind of intensified that and caused serious damage. So we'll go ahead and send the Tar Sands Rush over there, and we'll go ahead and drop the supply drop again right here. So it's not doing anything to help the healers, but it is intensifying the damage caused right there, and see how it took all of that out. And let's get Tiger Hawk up over here, causing some troubles. Got some ability for Alita 1, so we'll go ahead and drop that there. Meanwhile, they're taking out Octone. There's no problem. Sandstorm looks like he's heading towards the headquarters, and nope, he decided to come back. So instead of going to the headquarters, we got to go over here and take care of all of this stuff. Can we reach the headquarters with him? No. Elita 1 can. Because we're walking backwards for some reason. This didn't happen to me the last time. I really hate when that happens. When you get like right up to the headquarters and then they decide to walk backwards to catch the other half of the base that you were trying to avoid. So, but it worked out because we had Elita 1 and we were able to fly her over into the headquarters and we got it taken care of there. So Sparkletron, what did you miss? Well, we just went through the newsletter, my friend, so the replay will be up afterwards. It is a leaderboard event for these guys, Sandstorm and Octo, and as you can see, you can try them out right now in the game. You just go up there and tap the little news area and you can try them out for yourself in the battle simulation. Sherry MJ just subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Well, good to see you here. Woody's asking, do you think buying the Swoop bundle is worth it? Is he a game changer? Swoop is very, very good. Is he a game changer? He can be. He's not, I wouldn't say he's on par with Star Saber or somebody like that, but you get him leveled up, he can cause some serious damage. When they first came out, I did actually buy bundles for Swoop, and in fact, when I was running my Decepticon account, I bought bundles for Scourge. So yes, they are definitely, I would say, game changers. Maybe not super god A tier, whatever you want to call it, but right below that. Definitely worth it if you can afford the little bit of a cost for that. So, yeah, I was actually considering it myself, even though I've got Swoop. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting a dupe Swoop. It rhymes, yeah, but because, you know, Volcanicus Spark, and I'm not sure how close I am. I'm still a little ways away from leveling him up a little. I'm a long way from leveling him up. I'm not even quite halfway. And in fact, I'm so far away, he didn't even bother to show up. Okay, there he is. I think it's just because we just updated the game, so I don't think everything's totally in the game 100% just yet. So here they come. And here comes Victoria. I'm still missing that rust dust. Oh my goodness. Oh, because she's going to be so useful in that raid with that 4-star ability. Because if you can get that and just stun everything, that would be a huge help for because in the raids, because those defenses in there just cause crazy amounts of damage. I mean, some of those higher levels, you can take a team of 11, 12, 14, 20 thousand power, and those defenses will just tear you apart in a matter of seconds. So yeah, that'll be actually pretty good. And you can see I've got plenty of spark up there to take her at least to 11, but I can't do that now because 3-star max is at 10. So let's see. Sunjo Cyan Warrior, should there be a combiner of Rodimus Prime? Nah, Rodimus was never a combiner. I know the Optimus Maximus, the toy version, had Hot Rod as a chest minion, and I'm actually kind of glad they didn't do that for this one because you didn't need Hot Rod and he was fairly new. They were calling him Rodimus at the time, but they did kind of throw a tribute to that by throwing the his little sword axe spoiler thing just straight on the Optimus Prime's chest there. But nah, I don't think we need to see Rodimus Prime in a combiner. Yuli Santana, 5-star Star Saber, Optimus Prime, or Elita 1. You can't say all two of them, just one. 5-star Star Saber, easy, but he doesn't exist. It's got only Optimus, and I don't think 5-star Star Saber will ever exist until until they get to the point where everybody is a 5-star. I think Star Saber would be one of the last ones they do, just because the 4-star is so strong. He's practically a 5-star already. He's that good. So between Optimus Prime and Elita 1, I would say Elita 1. Just because Optimus Prime's ability, you almost can't upgrade Optimus Prime's ability too much because it kind of works against itself. because when you increase his ability, it increases the damage he does when he rushes over to something. But the problem is, if he destroys the thing that you targeted, his orders cancel out. So people don't rush, and that could be one of the reasons why some people say, well, the Prime Rush isn't working. If you target a weak defense and Prime destroys it, it cancels the orders. And everybody, all the other bots on the team, go back to doing what they were doing. So it's almost bad to upgrade Optimus Prime's ability. Elita 1 is just the opposite. The stronger you make her ability, the stronger she gets. So that's definitely why I would go with Elita 1. So now if they could actually change Optimus Prime's ability to where the orders would still stand and maybe just shift over to the next closest thing if he were to destroy whatever he targeted, then it would be totally worth upgrading his ability. But as it is right now, you don't really want to upgrade his ability much at all. So let's see. Transfortron, how about a Primal Combined? Maybe, I don't know if you're talking, maybe Optimal Optimus. We could possibly see that, because it did come out in a toy form, the Optimal Optimus, but you know, it's been a little while, and I think the window for bringing in an Optimal Optimus into the game has probably passed, because the toy's been out. I mean, mine is just coming into, should be here tomorrow, because I had to order it online because I never saw it. And you know, the whole Prime Wars trilogy was a few months ago, so the whole Optimal Optimus kind of business, I think, is the window's passed. So I don't, and plus we've already got Optimus Primal, we've got two different Optimuses, and somebody had said it would make sense if you brought him in, you'd bring in like the Dragon Megatron from Beast Wars, but then that would be the fourth Megatron. There's so many other characters I'd rather see than a fourth Optimus Megatron pairing, you know. So I'd rather kind of keep it that way. But you know, hey, if that's what they bring out, because that's what Hasbro says, hey, we'll talk about it and we'll have fun with it. But I'd rather not see them. I'd rather see other bots. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Big Bronze Rim saying he got his Sentius Magnus to level 57. 57 last weekend. And his 5-star Jazz is almost to 58. That is unbelievable. That's some serious power right there in those two bots. Let's see. And he's saying Jazz will then one-shot max armored mortars. That is crazy strong. Wow, man. Jim Unsworth III, welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. How are you? Good to see you back here. Peter Atwood, Headmasters, yes or no? No. Way too tiny. Way too tiny. And in fact, we've got some Headmasters in the game. We've got Skull Smasher and Mind Wipe, or those guys were Headmasters, and they're in the game, and there's no indication that they are Headmasters or they're going to be Headmasters. So no, I don't see us doing that. I don't see that happening in the game. Oh yes, Wreck and Roll, got a replay. I was going to go do that. So here's Wreck and Roll 21. He's going to share a replay. He says it's for the stream. It's a 4-star battle. Let's check this out. I haven't looked at this before, so we'll be seeing what he's got here. Alright, so he is sending in Hotspot, Jetfire, Cup. Oh, he's got a 4-star Sentius Magnus and Tigerhawk and Stormclash and that Rust Dust that I need. Oh, man, you did that on purpose. So, okay, so here he goes. He's sending Stormclash over there trying to get that missile launcher, but it didn't happen. Jetfire took out a mortar. He's got Tigerhawk over there to clean up that area. And the rest of the team is just kind of walking up in there. He hopped Cup over there to take care of that rest of that missile launcher. And now he's focused on resource storage, sending off Stormclash for a little bit of defense. Looks like, what is that, Alchemist Prime you got on Hotspot over there? Yep. You got Micronus on Cup. Oh, I do love the sound of that. Oh, I totally forgot what it's called. The artillery support from Rust Dust. I do love the sound of that. Every time I do that, I just think back to that first Transformers movie. It's like, bring the rain! Because that's just what it's like, you know, when Epps got on there and he's on the radio trying to take out Scorponok. The high heat Sabo rounds is just like, you know, bring the rain. That's anytime I set off that rust dust ability and hear that just da 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 da, I think right back to that scene from the original Transformers movie. And yeah, very cool. Nice little replay there, Wreck and Rule. Thank you so much. I see a couple others in here. Laser Optimus has got a Skylynx doing a solo in Zone 8. There he says, bring the rain. That's right, man. So he's got 4-star Skylynx. That's a pretty nice looking Skylynx there. Looks like he's leveling his new 2-star Rodimus Prime. He's got Megatronus on him there. Look at it. There's the snipe. So sends the Flame Strike, then the Plasma Shroud. Does a little bit of fire damage as he goes over there. He snipes again, causes the explosion, causes the double explosion, and look at that, takes it out. Dude, you can do Zone 9. You can take the Skylynx into Zone 9. Here's the trouble with Skylynx though. He is strong and he can do that, but if you don't have a nice compact base like that and he's got to fight through anything before he can reach the headquarters, it's tough for him. It's tough for him. If you've got a base where you can easily reach the headquarters, if you can just walk up right to the edge of the wall and then just snipe the headquarters from a distance, then yeah, Skylynx can take that out, no problem. But if he's got to fight through a bunch of stuff, he's not really strong enough to do that. And that's where Starsaber is still the better bot between these two guys. Even though Skylynx base stats may be the strongest between the two, Starsaber, because of his ability and the ability to move, to direct him and move him around, I think that pushes him over the top when you're comparing Skylynx and Starsaber. Not to say Skylynx is not a good bot. Skylynx is great, and I love my Skylynx. He's just not a good bot for solo unless you get the right base, is what I'm saying. Great way to level a healer, Big Bronze Rim is saying. Yeah, that would be a good way to level a healer. Because, like I said, Skylynx will take damage if he can't reach the headquarters, but if you've got that healer there backing him up and re-healing based on the damage he's got, that could work. But that's not technically a solo, though. That's more of a duo, but you know, it's close enough. Let's see. Jim Munsworth saying he's got a Nemesis Prime at level 50, 5-star Nemesis Prime. Very cool. Did you get him from the first batch when it was first out, or did you just get him in the Legacy Crystal? You get him to 5-star already. Just out of curiosity. Grant Galvatron say you saw my microphone review. Yeah, if you guys didn't notice, I did get a microphone. The company contacted me on YouTube and asked if I wanted to review a microphone, and so I did. I did a little review, and it's actually a pretty decent little microphone. You know, I do like my my Yeti over here. But I mean, we're talking the difference between a $130 microphone versus a $30 microphone. So of course this one should be better. But if you go watch that review, it's a very good microphone. Especially if you're just getting started, you need something inexpensive. I would definitely recommend going and getting that. So yeah, I just posted that up. When did I do that? Last night, I think. So if you want to, I do have that up on my channel, and there's a link to go purchase it on Amazon if you're interested. No obligation or whatever, but it's there. So what do you guys think? Are you interested in how all of this happens? Because that is something that I've been kind of wanting to try to, you know, think and get into. Because I know a couple of you guys have contacted me for some advice, and I'm happy to give it. But I think it might be easier sometimes to actually put out a video explaining tips about why you might want to have a microphone like this with a boom arm or something, or ideas for how to improve your background versus what I had before. If you go look back at that, I had to crop it right in on my face because behind me was a complete mess. And various other things too. In fact, how to set up all of this, where I can switch from the game to the camera and even to a secondary camera, being able to get the chat up on there. So there's trust me, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff to figure out. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know, and because I'd be happy to do some more videos on that. Probably not so much on this channel. I would definitely start another channel to do something like that, because I've got a lot of ideas that I think would be helpful for that. Because I do, you know, I threw the microphone review up here only because this is the only channel I have. But I do still want to keep this channel more for Transformers and the game, not so much for that. But if you guys are interested in that, you just hit me up. Leave a comment in the either in the chat now or after the stream or wherever. I mean, you could also hop over to the Discord. I'm throw a link in the chat there. You can hop over to Discord if you want, and you can hit me up for some stream or YouTube advice too. Let me know. Or like it says there, you can submit a base picture of your base we could review on the stream, or you can share collection photos or whatever. So yeah, Big D's saying keep it on this channel, it'd be simpler to find it. Yeah, I get that. It kind of goes against best practices for YouTube as far as niche, you know, wise. So that's a topic that we could talk about why it would be better to have on a second channel. You know, so requirements, Ironhide, requirements for what? For our alliance, Non-Toxic Gamers. We're looking for headquarters 11 and what do we say? 2,800 medals, I think. Yeah, headquarters 11 and 2,800 medals is what we're looking for. And not just your headquarters is at level 11. The rest of your base needs to be at least level 10, where basically if you've just gone to level... We don't want to be seeing any level 1 mortars unless it's one you just started. We don't want to see level 1 or level 2 cannons and stuff like that, where all you did was level up your headquarters. Now, because headquarters level unlocks things for you, but it's the defenses is what wins you defenses and makes it helpful when you do alliance wars and things like that. So, all right. So there was something else I wanted to talk about. So we took a look at Sandstorm and Octane or Octone a little while ago, but here's something interesting. I remembered how to remembered that I wanted to share with you guys. We got G1 Sandstorm over here. I've had this guy for a long time, and the lighting, I still need to work on how to do this, but the lighting doesn't do him justice. But I mean, he has seen better days. The stickers are pretty beat up or whatever, but and I think he's got some rusty screws and some corrosion and stuff like that. But all in all, he's actually still in pretty good. And for the longest time, this one leg just doesn't want to lock. So he's always kind of walking around like he falling over to the side like he hasn't had his V8, you know. But yes, so this is what the original G1 Sandstorm looked like. Now the toy has kind of a mouth plate or whatever, but he wasn't depicted that way in the cartoon though. So transform him, I will in a second. Yuli Santana, thank you for stopping by. Have a great night. So is there a Non-Toxic Gamers Decepticon Alliance? There actually is. Jugatron is our commander there. Okay, so to transform him, well, first we'll take him to Dune Buggy mode. You got to turn the head around. There you go. And we'll just fold the arms up here like this. Fold them down, and then fold those down. Oh, nice and squeaky. And just flip the feet down. Oh, I hope I don't break him. It's been a long time. And slide them in, and then push the legs in. And I like to go ahead and kind of flip this up to a halfway mark there. And so there is his dune buggy mode. Pretty nice. And yes, the heat activated rub sign is in full force there. So yeah, there we go. Red alert saying get some Reaper labels are 50% off. You know, for these that I've had for the longest time, and I kind of like the originals. And yes, they've seen some, they've got some damage and they're missing and stuff like that. But you know what? I like to think of that's love, because the reason it's damaged is because I played with him a lot. Same thing with my hot rod, and Jazz even. You know, the paint chips, all the stickers that are damaged. That's love, because we played with the toy, you know. So that's kind of my thought on these. If this were a second-hand one and it didn't have that nostalgia, you know, thinking back when I was like 9 years old playing with this guy, then like that Metroplex that I found, which I still haven't put the stickers on, but like that's one that absolutely I'll get the Reaper labels and sticker them up to make them look nice and pretty. But these guys, I like them with the damage stickers. It's you know, because I did the damage. So that's kind of my thing. So is he missing helicopter blades? No, he's just not transformed into a helicopter yet. Let's go ahead and do that. So the way that we do that, we go ahead and push the head in, and then we actually slide this down a little bit so that we can fold in these wheels, flip him over, and see, and the wheels actually held onto this piece, which you can now flip, and you also fold down these other wheels. You fold this down, it sort of tabs there. Now you flip up the rear stabilizer, and there's his blades here. And flip this up, and we just kind of spread these out. And there are little arrows here. That's just kind of like where there's little detents where you can put them in. It doesn't lock them in or whatever. But so there is his helicopter mode. It's more of a supply helicopter, like a standard helicopter. Not a actually very similar to like the Blackout from the movie lines. Very similar to that style of a helicopter, as opposed to the VTOL mode. So you can see this one kind of got bent out of place when I tapped it to spin. But yeah, so this is actually a really cool figure. It's definitely one of my favorites, and I'm so glad that I managed to hang on to him. So another thing that I actually wanted to share with you while we're over here, considering that this is about Paradron and stuff like this is actually a recent figure. This came out last year from the Transformers Collectors Club. It's a repaint of RC, and oh my goodness, that light is way too bright. This extra one is probably too much, but this they called this figure Lifeline, but it's she didn't have a name in the cartoon, but it's the Paradron Medic. And if you remember that episode, there were a couple of these medic ladies over there, and oh, looks like I don't have her fully transformed, but they basically look just like RC, but were this green color. So they actually created this for the Transformers Collectors Club figure subscription service. It's actually the last one. The last figure subscription service, she was included with that, and it's just as great as that Generations RC, because it is the exact same figure. It even came with the two guns and the Energon blades or whatever. Not really in line with a medic, but you know, it came with the toy, so that's what it was. So yeah, so there's that. Can I show off some more Bayformers toys? Well, I don't really have any right now prepared. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Actually, one of the figures I got coming tomorrow is that Masterpiece movie Bumblebee, the newer one where he turns into the Beetle from this upcoming movie. Because I've already got the original movie Masterpiece where he turns into the Camaro, so I got the Volkswagen coming tomorrow. So maybe we could show him off next week or whatever. So. Sparkletron's asking, what if they added some relics from Transformers Prime? Wouldn't that be cool? Oh my goodness, no scavenger hunts. Those are some of the most grueling episodes to get through. Although, you know, I do have to say, it was pretty cool the way they did that. They all started with T. One was what, toxicity, and I don't remember, but where they actually split up. Bulkhead went off one way on his own, and toxicity was the one that one. And there was another one where I think Bumblebee and RC went one direction, and but yeah, they split up, and that was really cool because you could see little bits of each of them. They all happened at the same time, and so like you could actually see little bits of one happening in the other. So I do think that was actually pretty cool the way the way they did those particular episodes, though. Jim Munsworth's asking, do I like Pokemon? I was already too old and too cool to be interested in that kind of thing. I say that jokingly, of course. But yeah, I think I was too old for the target market by the time that came out. So I had my focus on other things by that point. So no, I never really got into Pokemon. So I'm aware of Pokemon. You know, I'm aware of Pikachu, but my knowledge of Pokemon pretty much ends at Pikachu. So yeah. So no, not really any kind of Pokemon expert or nostalgia over here. So Sparkletron's asking, what Skylinks is that? This one over here? This is the Mastermind Creations Magna. That is the Lynx version of their Inventa Magna figure. They haven't released the Space Shuttle Bird mode, which is the Inventa part. They just released this guy, and oh man, he is great. We talked about him a few weeks ago when I first got him. I think we actually took a closer look at him, but he is heavy. He's about as heavy as that Titan's Return Fort Max. A lot of good diecast in there, and he is. And you can see him next to this Masterpiece Star Saber. I mean, look how tall he is. I mean, he is a beast. So yeah, definitely going to be a cool figure when he gets completed. How much do I like Star Saber? Like this one? Well, let me just say, in the game, I love Star Saber. He's fantastic. This one over here, it's okay. It's okay. It's got some flaws. It's definitely not perfect. Like for example, his sword is just kind of balanced over here because he can't really grip his sword very well, or his shield really. So he's definitely not a perfect figure. It's really cool, and I didn't really have any nostalgia for the original G1 character of Star Saber, so I mostly got this guy because of my being a fan in the game. But other people who are familiar with him from the original, I think it was Victory, the Transformers Victory, I think would probably be a little bit more, because he's very similar to Ultra Magnus in the fact that he's kind of a smaller bot that puts on armor to be this bigger bot. And in fact, he's even an even smaller bot. It's almost kind of like a Headmaster, except they call him Brain Master, where he doesn't actually transform into the head. He just kind of goes into the chest and then it slides up and then the head comes out. And it's really cool because even though it does all that, the head can still turn. So it is actually really cool the way it all works, but it does have some flaws. So have I fully maxed my base? No, I'm getting really darn close. Let's head on over there and go see. We can't do it yet. I will tell you, I did see a sneak peek. You see how we've got all the power cores up there? A lot of us have been saying we want to be able to turn them off. It's coming. It's coming. So where you don't have to back all the way out here to have them gone. So we are going to be able to turn off the power cores in our base. And oh man, so thank you, Giannis, for working on that, because that's coming. I'm not sure when, but it's going to be great. All right, so we can take a look at this base. If this cloud moves past, I've got one laser turret upgrading right now. After that, I have just one more laser turret and 2 alloy harvesters and the rest of my walls. and then that's it. Oh, I think the scanner has one more level too. I've just not been in a rush to upgrade the scanners because I upgraded it to unlock Zone 13, even though I don't ever really fight Zone 13. I certainly don't need to unlock Zone 14, so I haven't been in a rush to upgrade that scanner at all. But yeah, I'm pretty darn close. I haven't been playing a whole lot the last couple of weeks, except for like in the events, and even in the events, my Alliance guys can probably tell you I haven't been really pulling as much weight as I usually do, because I've been kind of playing that Red Dead Redemption 2 pretty much every waking hour of the day. So if you're too young for that kind of game, you need to stay away from it. But I mean, if you're of age and you do like that style of game, if you've been a fan of any of those Rockstar games, get it. It's fantastic. But anyway, so that's why I could be a little bit farther. And in the lab right now, we've got 14 hours to go. Is finally getting my 4-star skydive past level 50. So I went ahead and dropped him in there. Let's see. Ironhide is asking, can you buy you a coffee table? Prowl broke it. Man, that Prowl, he just goes and breaks everybody's coffee tables. He's got some serious anger management issues, doesn't he? Goodness gracious. Beat up the feminist? I'm not sure what that means, Don Powers, but good to see you. How much ore do you need for a level 16 wall upgrade? You almost need to max your ore, to tell you the truth. You need 5.9 million alloy, and I think it maxes out at 6.3. So you need to practically max your alloy to build one wall. That's why it takes a long time. So you see these guys who've got the all their walls upgraded. That's some serious alloy they've spent. So yeah, Big D says he just got a copy of RDR2, Red Dead Redemption. I can't wait to try it out. Oh, you never played it before? Oh, dude, I almost want to tell you, you need to put RDR2 on hold and go play the first one. Or if you don't want to do that, at least go search out, because I know there's some YouTube videos out there that walks you through the story of the first one, because your experience will be so much richer if you know what the story is. Because it's a prequel to the first one, but you can see things. It's a great game on its own, but it's so much richer if you have that backstory of the first one. So I would definitely at least go find a summary video. I know there's a few out there because I've seen them. I didn't watch them because I played the first one 2 or 3 times through, but yeah. Don Powers, he's saying it is a YouTube thing. A guy got banned for a day. Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was no. I actually didn't. My first playthrough, I actually got through the entire story. I'm actually going through a second playthrough now because a little bit past halfway, I started to realize, you know, I'm missing stuff, because as you progress, you miss out on things, because the way the story goes, there are things that can occur that you can only do early in the game, and of course there are some things you can only do later in the game. But there are things that you can leave behind if you don't do them earlier in the game. So I've gone back and already I rushed through the end of the story, and we're going totally off Transformers for the worst here. But I'm on the second playthrough, taking my time and going through and seeing, and already I've done 10 different things that I didn't do the first time. But my first playthrough anyway, I was very good. I was very honorable outlaw. I actually hit the max honor, and no, I actually was very kind to the feminist. So Ninja Squirrel is bringing us back to Transformers, saying the new Siege line of bots is off to a pretty solid start. My thoughts? I think it looks really cool. I haven't found any yet myself, but everything that I've seen from them, it looks really great. In fact, there was one, I forget who did it. I think it might have been, there was a few people. They did a, they had a diorama set up with Hasbro, and as they were going through, you could see they actually used the sound wave and transformed him into the lamppost, and they painted him into as kind of an Easter egg in the diorama, and it was really cool to see. But yeah, I think they look great. Shockwave it's interesting the way they're doing the leader class, because basically what you've got is a Voyager class size figure in there with a bunch of weapons and upgrades, basically at a leader class price point. So I can see some people being disappointed in that. Still, Shockwave basically having like multiple arms on there does actually seem pretty cool there. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hound looks fantastic. Let's see. Jim Unsworth's got to go to bed. Have a good. Yeah, I need to be getting to bed soon too. But have a good one, my friend. Chris Johnson from the NonToxic Gamers. What's up? Thanks for joining the stream. Let's see. Unknown Gamer says we need Trailbreaker, not Sandstorm. Not a big fan. Well, I agree with you. We need Trailbreaker. Mostly I want Trailbreaker because that means Hoist is probably not too far behind because they do share a model. But and I respect your opinion that you're not a big fan of Sandstorm, but I am. So I'm happy to see him. Let's see. I would like to see Chromia. Ironhide wants his girlfriend in the game. Let's see. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. Wreck and Roll saying we already have the Wreckers and the new one is Sandstorm. It would be interesting to see if Sandstorm shows up in the collections as a Wrecker. I wonder if they've done that yet. Yep, he is. They do have Sandstorm there as one of the Wreckers. So there you go. And you got Springer and Ultra Magnus as a 5 stars. So I've got these guys. You can see I'm still looking for that Ultra Magnus. And obviously nobody has Sandstorm yet. So, yeah, good call. I totally didn't even think about that. But yeah, good call. Obviously, Wreck and Rule would be the expert on the Wreckers, right? So, let's see. Okay. Yeah, Ironhide said, but it's 6 p.m. Yeah, you must be on the west coast of the U.S. because it's actually just past 9 p.m. here. And I know some people may actually be. It's actually pretty late across the pond over in Europe, and I know we've had some people in here from Italy a few times, and we've had some people in here from the UK as well. It's pretty darn late over there, trust me. So, Don Power say he's having a terrible time finding Energon, trying to upgrade bot abilities. 150k in Zone 13 sucks. Yeah. I agree with you. I have that too, but you know, every so often I get a pretty decent haul down there in Zone 12. Big Bronze Rib saying Zone 14 is where the resources are. Yeah, because everybody's maxed and they've got nothing to spend it on, so they're all sitting there with max resources too. I bet. So 400k, yeah, that's pretty good. But you got Death Source and Blitzwing. Oh. You are set. Two of the best, probably the best 2 bots in the game. Although I don't know, I might want to put Lugnut above Blitzwing. Interesting thing about Blitzwing, I've been using Blitzwing a little bit on my Decepticon side, and it appears that visually his little flame ability is slower than Skylink's, and it appears that it takes longer, but in reality it still hits about the same time. It's just the little slug that you see going across the screen takes a little bit of time. So when I was first doing it, I was finding it was taking such a long time because I was waiting for it to hit before I went and did the second ability. But the key with using Blitzwing is pay attention to the abilities. As soon as the other one is active, go ahead and hit it and go do it, because it may be active before it appears that the flame ability hits the target. So I'm not sure if that's something that they're looking at, but it appears visually that it's taking longer, but it really doesn't. So. Alright, so we're going to start wrapping up here. Let's get a couple more questions here. Sparkatron saying we need Impact or Topspin, Roadbuster, Pyro, Rack and Ruin, Twin Twist, and you're trying to name all the wreckers. Yeah, that's quite a few wreckers. Honestly, I don't see us getting pretty much any of those guys, although we may get Impactor, because I'm pretty sure the fans voted to get Impactor the last time we had a fan vote. So when that new Impactor figure comes out, we'll probably see Impactor in the game. I don't know if we'll be seeing any of those other guys. They're just outside of the comics. And even within the comics, it was really just in the series. They didn't show up a whole lot in the main story. I just don't think they're as well known outside of Wreckers mega fans. You know, all of us Physicitrons out there. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then you're not one of the fans. No, seriously. In the IDW comics, the character Iron Fist actually went by a pen name, a pseudonym of Physitron, and was kind of the... he basically did this in the context of the Transformers. He kind of basically did a podcast about the Wreckers, talking about all the cool stuff that they did. Let's see. Time zones are finicky thing, yeah. Should Earth Wars have a Fall of Cybertron event? Nah, well... They may have one when we start seeing some of the Siege figures come in. If we do that, they may have some. They may call something a Fall of Cybertron, but I don't see it being any kind of new game mode or anything crazy like that. Don Power's only got a 2-star lug nut. Oh yeah, superstition about getting bots. Seems if you max the 2-star and level 41 on the 3-star, then the 4-star shows up. Seems logical to me. It can be really. You know, like you said, I'm glad you called it a superstition, because it really is just the random number generator. But hey, you know what? If it makes you feel good about what you're doing, then by all means do it. It's kind of why I got that Rust Dust avatar up there. I know it has nothing to do with anything, but you never know, right? Well, actually, I have a pretty good idea because I've had that Rust Dust avatar up there for a while, and I ain't been getting Rust Dust at all. So that one's not working for me. Maybe I need to try something else. Sparkletron's asking, what vehicle would Rack and Ruin transform into? And that, my friend, is one of the problems. What vehicle would he transform into? He'd probably just be another one of those guys like Blaster or Soundwave where he doesn't transform, and then everybody be mad. It's like, why isn't he transforming, you know? So... Hey, Grand Galvatron says he wants Rook so he can get Wandering Roller going back to the Combiner Wars, or actually the Unite Warriors Grand Galvatron figure he's talking about there. So, yeah, 55R saying the Blitzwing thing is off. Again, remember, it looks slow, but the effect is the same speed as Skylink's, but visually it looks slower. So you just got to pay attention to when his other ability becomes active. Don't wait for it to hit, because it'll look like it's hitting late, but no, it's hitting the same time. So pay attention to that. I'm not that familiar with Rack and Ruin. I think they weren't in the IDW comics. They were only in the G1 comics, I think, and in fact maybe only in the UK G1 comics, which I haven't read all of yet. So. All right, guys, we're a few minutes over time, and but you know the reason that happened is because you guys are great and you got a lot of great questions, and you keep it going, and it's a fun time, and I just love hanging out with you guys and answering questions and talking Transformers and occasionally Red Dead Redemption, but mostly Transformers. But anyway, if any of y'all are here and you haven't yet, consider subscribing and coming back next week, because we are here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on my channel. We talk Transformers Earth Wars newsletter, and occasionally we talk about various other Transformers topics. And that's all we're going to do for tonight. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and I'll see you next time.